मुन्याच्या पुरे मुंच चहातो मध्य मुंचा वासा पारागु सभ्यता विरुद्ध मानसो ना पुण्यं जाति चरंग उपेसी।
मुंच पूरे मुंच मतलब छोड़ दो, लेट गो। पूरे पहले जो आप पहले sometimes they put it as future। मुंच अच्छा तो जो पीछे चला गया उसको भी छोड़ दो। मध्य मुंच जो बीच में है उसको भी छोड़ दो। तब भवस्य पार हो, देन यू विल क्रॉस ओवर दी भव सागर को जो है क्रॉस कर लेंगे। दिस साइकिल ऑफ बिकमिंग क्रॉस। सर्वत्र विमुक्त मानसो, जब सब चीजों से मन जो है विमुक्त हो जाएगा। न पुनम जाति जरम उपेहि, दोबारा जाति और जरा को प्राप्त नहीं करेगा। दैट इज द ट्रांसलेशन ऑफ इट। लेट गो ऑफ what is before, let go of what is behind, let go of what is in the middle, cross over the shore of becoming, and when your mind is fully free, you will never again return to birth and aging. Sometimes it is translated as let go of the future, let go of the past, let go of the present. So this let go of the present creates some kind of a confusion. You can understand the basic idea is don't get attached to it. And that becomes evident from the story, after that. wandering acrobat. And the story of one person who became fell in love with one of the dancers of the troupe, married her, had children, and then she would often scold him, तुम कुछ कर नहीं पाते हो, because he was not an acrobat. उसी तरह उसने सीखा then, and he returned to Rajgriha and he was very keen to perform his skills. और लोग जरा ताली वाली बजाएंगे तो उसे भगवान बुद्ध आ गए, वो उसको ध्यान नहीं दिया. He got very depressed, and then Buddha told him this verse. And we tell the story of Ugrasena that long back in his own Buddha Sasana, he gave alms food to a monk and made a wish that he should also become Arahant one day. So the monk, being an Arahant, he looked in and thought that yes, he will become, and so he smiled. And this person misunderstood smile and heard he was laughing at him and became very angry. And because of that unwholesome response, he had to go through the cycle of birth and death so many times before he could reach the goal. Next, 2 and 3 are together. So
वितक्क मथितस्य जंतुनो दिव्यरागस्य शुभानुपस्सिनो धियो तणहा पवठति एषको दर्भं करोति बन्धनं वितक्कूपसमे च यो रतो अशुभं भावयते सदा सतो एषको व्यन्ति काढ़ति एष छेच्छति मारबन्धनम्.
वितक्क मतलब थिंकिंग प्रोसेस, मत्थितस्य मतलब उसको मथन कर दिया जाए. तो जो इसकी थिंकिंग बहुत कंफ्यूज है जंतु में, ऐसे प्राणी जो है दिव्य राग से शुभानुपस्य, दिव्य राग से उसके स्ट्रांगली पैशनेट है, एंड शुभानुपस्य he sees things in it and that things are beautiful and therefore he looks only at the pleasant aspects of things. धियो तन्हा प्रवर्धन्ति, देन उसकी तन्हा जो है बढ़ेगी, कृष्णा बढ़ेगी. ये सबको दलहम करोति बंधन, इस तरह से जो है वो अपने बंधन को और स्ट्रॉन्ग करता है, उसकी कृष्णा बढ़ जाता है. और ऑन द अदर हैंड वितक्को कुसमे चयोरथो, वन हु इज डिवोटेड टू calming down the thought process, thinking process. Ashubham bhavayate sadarato, one is always focusing on the non-beautiful, so he doesn't get attached. Esapo vyanti kahiti, it is this vyanti end ki taraf hai, so here it is translated as perfection, kahiti, to act for from that. Esa chechati marabandhana. So a person who is devoted to calming of his thoughts, Esapo vyanti, he will put an end to this craving. Esa chechati marabandhana. And this person will cut off the bonds of Mara, bonds of death. So the analysis is given of one person who is trying to calm the thoughts, other person who has got into discursive thinking and normally yearns for the pleasant. So the story is about a monk who, you can see how much difficulty must have been felt by the Buddha at that time. A monk goes to from alms round and the woman gives him food and she takes fancy to him and falls in love with him. Then she invites him to her home, that every दिन रोज आया करो भोजन के लिए, and he also goes and he also gets attached to her. And then सोचता है कि मुझे छोड़ देना चाहिए, शादी वादी करनी चाहिए. But he feels very upset and then tells Buddha about it. And then Buddha tells him these verses and mentions to him that in his past life also this woman was his wife. But once they were travelling and met some thieves, then she fell with love with one of the thieves and got him murdered. So that just like in the previous life she was the source of his death, in this life also she will become a source of his death. That meaning in the sense of giving up the monkhood. And then these two verses were spoken by him. If you strongly yearning for only pleasant aspects, then you make your fetters still stronger. While if you give it up, then your fetters will be caught up. Then the next two I'll read. निट्ठांगतो असंतासी वीततन्हो अनंगनो अच्छिंदी भाव सल्लानी अंतिमयोयम समुच्चयो वीततन्हो अनादनो निवृत्तिपाद कोविदो आख्यानं सन्निपत्तम धन्यास्पुप्पा पारिणी च सवे अंतिम शारीरो महापन्यो महापुरुषो की गुच्छति। इस तरह के आदमी को कहा जाता है कि वो उसका अंतिम शरीर है, वो बहुत पन्या वाला है, मतलब वाइज है एंड महापुरुष है। किसको? उसकी ये कैरेक्टरिस्टिक दे दी है। निट्ठांगतो असंतासी, who has attained perfection, and asantasi does not fear, who fear is overcoming, fearless. Vita tanho anangano, and who is free from tanha and without any blemish. कोई भी उसमें अंगनो नहीं, अंगन मतलब blemish नहीं है। अच्छिंदी भाव सल्लानी, when who is cut off the arrows of सल्ला का arrows को, cut off the arrows of existence। अंतिमोयम समुच्चय, ये इसका अंतिम समुच्चय वो है getting to accumulation है। Here it refers to body, so this is and last body। Vitatanho anadano, one who is without tanha and is free from attachments. Then he is talking of something which may sound very strange. Niruttipada kovido, one who is skilled in understanding the words and their meanings. Akkharanam sannipattam, who understands the proper arrangement of the words of the scriptures. Janya Pubba Paranicha, and he knows there, he जन्य में जानता है, Pubba Parani, जो आगे क्या आता है, पीछे क्या आता है. So one who knows the teachings properly and knows the meanings of the structure, knows the meaning of the words in the right sequence, जो आगे आ रहा है, जो पीछे आता है. Such a person is known as a person of great wisdom and a great man. So you can see this emphasis on remembering the text and reciting it. Because at that time to write down the text was seen to be a sacrilege. Some chitti avas mein likhte raho, you can't write Buddha's words. So they had to remember it. And that's why this fine thing verse has been added up in the commentary. The story is about a large number of monks who come to see him, and at that time Buddha's son Rahula is sleeping outside, and Mara comes in the form of an elephant and tries to scare him. But Rahul does not show any fear. Then Buddha comes out and tells Mara this verse, that he's not going to be scared, he is an arahant, so you do whatever you like. And then Mara realizes and gets away from there. And then this also is spoken as a second verse, that is, this one is not only he has cut off his fetters, but he has also got the complete mastery over the teaching, so that he knows how to decide what is the meaning of the word and what is the order in which it should be spoken. That is it.
So what kind of recitation or what was the practice?
These words of the Buddha, were recited so that some discourse would be recited, and there were some things which were everyday recitation. This is 5 things. Remember, 5 things everybody should recite. So monks should recite. Then monks should recite the qualities of the Buddha, qualities of Dhamma, qualities of Sangha. Basically to see that this gets fixed up in their mind. When you recite it again and again, then you will remember. This is what Dharma's characteristic is, and check up. मैं भी कहता हूँ मैं धर्म का पालन करता हूँ कि हो भी रहा है कि नहीं हो रहा है. So this acts as a reminder. So even now in the monks there is a tradition of morning puja, evening puja, where they do these recitations. One of the pariptas, जो से वो असेवना से बाला नंबू या अंदर जैसे 10-day कोर्स में करते हैं ना गुरु जी, मॉर्निंग में रेसिटेशन करते हैं, वो उनके एक्सट्रैक्ट करते हैं. They will read the full discourse. Wherever Buddha is given. Ratana Sutta, the complete Sutta will be there. Virimananda Sutta, they will be completely read. When you read it, recite it, one will recite and sometimes all will recite. Then you are supposed to be, because you understand the meaning. Remember, ये चीजें करनी चाहिए.
And then when they are in seclusion, they
will remember it naturally. That they'll be able to recall whenever need arises. अरे ऐसा कहा था करने को, ऐसा कहा था करने को.
So in the time of Buddha also they recited the praise of the Buddha.
Yeah. It's not a praise, it's a quality of it. Ikipiso Bhagava, that's not praise. This is how a Bhagava should be. So this is ideal for that.
Okay.
Vidyacharana Sampanno, so he understands, has wisdom and acharan, according to acharan. So when they recite, they will naturally forced to check, मेरा भी आचरण ऐसा है कि नहीं. इतिपिसो भगवा अरहं सम्मा संबुद्धो विद्याचरण संपन्नो सुगतो, गति उसकी अच्छी है. Which means both he has reached the end of the path and also he walks properly. Lokavidu, he knows the whole world, internal as well as external. Anuttaro Purusha Dhamma Sarati, unexcelled teacher of the people, just a trainer of the horse hota usi tarah se. So if you have that as an ideal, then it means you will also like to become a teacher of that kind. You can teach people. So those things are basically meant as a, in meditation we are also advised, when you get worked up very much, dhyan to try, to बहुत तूफान उठ रहा है, you are advised to remember Buddha. So when you remember it, it will give you a good feeling. These are the supportive elements of practice, so that they give you a good feeling, a joy arises, and then the storm will be passed away. Feel happy, feel confident that this is the path which will happen. So they are meant for as a tools for help in meditation. Whenever the things go haywire, or we tend to forget sadhana कैसे करनी है, क्यों हमसे नहीं हो पा रहा. So those act as reminders. Various suttas are actually meant to be reminders to people. If you listen to them, then they remind them, but you must understand. सिर्फ ऐसे ही सुनने से क्या होगा?
I think many of those suttas where Buddha first asked the question and then the monks reply. So that actually can also act as introspection. Then you can take that question and then check whether what is your answer.
The recitations which are done are mostly of parittas, protection chants, which are done, and other things which are. So during the other time they would study those. The recitations हैं जो मैंने देखी हैं, they're mostly of that kind. Satana Sutta and other suttas, Metta Sutta.
But then they'll also
they'll help in maintaining the order in the Sangha, maintaining good relationship in the Sangha.
But during daytime also
they'll
discuss.
study and discuss, meditate and discuss and study. Study is an integral part of monk's life.
So Arpan is online, including Siddhartha and Srish.
In Tibetan tradition, they give so much emphasis to study, extraordinary emphasis. Not only to study, then you will have a Vaivavasi.
Really?
Yeah. The Dalai Lama had to undergo 14 years of training. 14 years, which means studying all the scriptures and then passing all those exams. So there will be elders. So that's the true training, part of training of the monks. They'll take them at a young age and they'll study. First study, remember the whole scripture. They don't believe in just having a book and reading. You have to remember the whole scripture. Then recite, then they'll say, recitation seeking together. Then they'll ask the meaning, then they'll question you, कि तुम्हें समझ में आया कि नहीं. अगर तुम देखोगे ना उनकी एक फिल्म है दलाई लामा, सो दे वो खड़े होके, जैसे हमारे ट्रेडिशन था ना क्वेश्चन आंसर का, जो सवाल पूछेंगे और जवाब दोगे, उस तरह से वो सवाल जवाब करते हैं. So there will be the senior monks are sitting and the student is standing and he says something and वो ताली बजा के कहेगा this is what I say. So वो कहेंगे कि ठीक है कि गलत है, फिर वो उसको क्रॉस क्वेश्चन करेंगे, ऐसा क्यों कह रहा है. So it's an interesting sight to see how they are. हमें समझ तो आता नहीं था, वो तो सारे तिब्बती में बोल रहे थे, तो उस फिल्म में उन्होंने थोड़ा एक्सट्रैक्ट दिखाया हुआ है. जैसे 14 years of rigorous training, so you're supposed to remember the whole scriptures of Tibetan Buddhism, all the scriptures. तो पूछा वो क्यों कर रहे हो ऐसा, तो somebody asked a question, then they tell him कि get me a book.
It becomes a problem. In fact, कुछ भी अगर कैलकुलेशन करने तो कंप्यूटर पर ही करने होते.
It's very interesting for me कि अभी भी वो इतना emphasize करते हैं recitation को और उसको याद करने.
But are there any other Indian traditions also which are?
हाँ, सब में वैदिक ट्रेडिशन में तो ऐसे ही
होता है, अभी भी देर से फॉलोइंग,
तो बहुत कम रह गया.
थिंग्स आर,
जैसे मेरे पिताजी वो जब उनके मेरे दादाजी उनके बनारस में गए थे, तो पहले 5 साल उन्होंने कुछ नहीं किया, बस यही किया एग्जैक्टली यही, तो स्क्रिप्चर्स पढ़ने और वो याद. सुबह वो 5 बजे उठ करके गंगा किनारे बैठ के तो 4-5 घंटे वो रेसिटेशन करते. तो वो जो भी जिस शाखा को मैं बिलोंग करता हूँ यजुर्वेद को, उसके वो 40,000 सूत्र या जो भी है वो उनको याद थे. तो कहीं से भी आप वाइवा ऐसे होता था, कहीं से शुरू होता था, फिर उसके नेक्स्ट स्टेप पे जाते थे, फिर न्याय जिसमें कि फिर लॉजिक होता था, फिर उसमें वो सवाल जवाब, वो सब अभी कुछ सालों पहले तक चलता था. अब
बहुत
नहीं रहा.
लिमिटेड लेवल. मैं भी यहाँ गुरुकुल में गया था एक बहुत साल पहले, नहीं पे वास्तव में गुजरात पास ही
तो अब यहाँ तो मेरे ख्याल से आर्य समाज
वाले हैं.
उन्होंने वो रिवाइव करने की कोशिश
स्वामी विवेकानंद धाम का नाम है, मुझे वहाँ पे टीचर थे, वो भी वहाँ पे उसी तरह से करते थे, बट ये आर्य समाज ट्रेडिशन. केरला में मैंने सुना अभी भी है परंपरा, कुछ
जगह पर है, बनारस में भी अभी भी है, बहुत
कम है.
और मुश्किल ये हो गई कि उनके बच्चे जो हैं
they are not willing to do
they are not willing because उसमें
they don't see any application.
कुछ ट्रिवियल काम कर रहे हैं, पर वो बड़ा मुश्किल टॉपिक है.
अब तो वो इसीलिए वो रिटर्न मटेरियल सब अवेलेबल है,
बट रिटर्न मटेरियल ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन ऑफ द माइंड नहीं कर सकते
unless you meditate.
वहाँ पड़ा हुआ है उससे क्या.
unless you read, meditate, reflect. तो मेडिटेशन का ट्रेडिशन ही खत्म ही हो गया ना, बहुत ही कम रह गया.
और सिर्फ रिलीजियस नहीं, जो फिलोसॉफिकल ट्रेडिशंस थे उसमें भी ये था, स्क्रिप्चर याद करना वाज ऑलवेज अ पार्ट ऑफ.
स्वामी विवेकानंद तो शायद सनातन धर्म की ट्रेडिशन थी, याद नहीं. और वो लोग, वो हमने पूछा भाई बच्चों को ले रहे हो, काफी लोग डिवोटेड भेज रहे थे बच्चों को, तो उनको सिर्फ वो वही पढ़ाते थे. और फिर वो क्या कहते थे, वो जाके एट द मोस्ट रेलवे हम तो जा रही. तो फिर वो लोग जो है दे फील वेरी लेट डाउन. फिर हमने पूछा और भी पढ़ाओ, बाकी से पढ़ाओ. So limited scope रह जाता है ना, then they are
दोनों तरफ प्रॉब्लम है.
Then they are not. I mean, they should be taught both. For that you need more time. You need more. Otherwise उनका living इतना अच्छा था, वो एक वो कनाल थी उसके बगल में थे. Early morning they would do prayers and chanting and they would take bath in the river and then बहुत अच्छा लगा मुझे वहाँ 1-2 दिन रहे, 2 दिन रहे शायद. But they had their own limitations. Normally we think of recitation and study as की बहुत नीची चीज है यार, क्या है. But if you listen to Vijaan Sumedo even, he will tell you what is the importance of it. And he will criticize people who would say कि हम meditators हैं, Buddhist नहीं हैं. What is this? What do you mean by saying? And he would criticize it from his point, you know. पहले मैं ऐसा सोचता था कि मैं गया तो क्या है ये सब फालतू बोले जा रहे हैं.
Actually, he will both the sides. If you only do his recitations, don't do meditation. That also.
He points out the value of that very nicely.
मैंने देखा जैसे अभी आप बता रहे थे कि बुद्ध के क्वालिटीज पे मेडिटेशन, तो जो हिंदू ट्रेडिशन में भी अब बुद्ध की जगह कोई भगवान है, विष्णु सहस्त्रनाम जो भी है, पर अगर आप उन वर्ड्स को देखें तो अगर आपको उसका मीनिंग पता है तो आपका माइंड उस वर्ड को जब सुनता है तो वो वाली फीलिंग आती है, तो आप there is a change, there is a potential for
If you
change.
understand the meaning and reflect on it.
reflect on it,
Yeah.
there is a
There's no
potential
doubt about it.
of change. But अब वो याद रखने की ताकत ही नहीं थी.
But अभी उसमें एक और ही हो गई ना कि
हाँ.
last few hundred years
वो सिर्फ
verses have been created which are purely for seeking something. उससे एक problem. But if you see the Upanishadic verses and all, they are profound. Very profound verses are there. But वो उनको कौन recite करेगा? You don't understand them. They look very strange. वहाँ अंधेरा है, वहाँ कुछ नहीं, ना सूरज है, ना चंद्रमा है, फिर भी लाइट है, क्या है ये सब? You don't understand what he is saying, isn't it? They are in a sort of aphorism. Now one has to understand. One is referring to pure consciousness. That there is neither sun nor moon, and yet there is light. There is a अजीब सी बात है.
तो मेरे ख्याल से बच्चों को स्कूल में ये आजकल ऐसा होता है कि नहीं, पता नहीं, एटलीस्ट मैं जब छोटा था तो कम से कम वो मैथमेटिकल टेबल्स याद करते थे. वो अब नहीं मुझे पता कि होता है कि नहीं, बट
होता है पर इतना ज़्यादा emphasis नहीं आता.
Recitation and remembering is that's why you suffer from attention deficit. You don't remember things. You don't give importance to that.
मैं बचपन में सुनता था मैं कि वो 2.25 का पहाड़ा होता था, 2.25 का, वो भी याद करते थे.
Yeah. That is the way of remembering mathematics.
कैलकुलेटर बनाना अपने आप को.
So Arpan has given a comment that I used to feel the same way when I did my first course and heard Goenkaji's chanting and dohas. In fact, in my experience, many people who do their first course are mystified and sometimes also repulsed by the chanting.
Yeah. That's true. Because they don't understand. That's why I used to say.
And actually we have lost the touch of somebody in the home doing the chanting or who is visiting some place like chanting.
जैसे मैं तो पहले टेम्पल ही जाता था, वहाँ देखता था, तो they would chant in such a kind of not only hurry, and in a manner in which there is no feeling of devotion. In contrast, my grandfather, used to chant in the morning. हम जितने थे सकते वो बैठे सुबह शुरू करते थे 6 बजे, 10 साढ़े 10 बजे कुछ ना कुछ पढ़ते रहते थे. हमारे यहाँ तो कश्मीर में बड़ा भारी ट्रेडिशन था. और फिर वो 10 साढ़े 10 बजे चाय पियेंगे, फिर वो कहेंगे अच्छा ये लेके आओ. सुनते रहते थे क्या बोल रहे हैं, कुछ तो समझ आता नहीं था, थोड़ा बहुत ही आता था. But you could see that he is enjoying it, because he felt something is being done which is meaningful. And if you read those things, जो कश्मीर के वो है, they are very, most of them are very very powerful if you reflect on them. But if you recite them और मंदिर में जाओ तो वो फिर ऐसे बोलता जाता है क्या कर रहे हो भाई, शांति से बोलो यार, सुन तो ले, बोलना क्या चाहता है. It's just in a hurry to finish it somehow quickly. शादी में लोग कहते हैं मंदिर टाइम नहीं है हमारे पास, 5 मिनट में कर दो, 10 मिनट में कर दो. अब तो अखिलेश वॉन्ट से मैं
आपको अमेजिंग बात बताता हूँ. मैं अभी पुणे में सब प्रोसेस हो रहा है, तो इतना प्रोफेशनल, एंड आई एम यूजिंग द वर्ड इन अ बैड सेंस, हो गया है सब कुछ कि किसी को उसको कंटेंट में कोई भी इंटरेस्ट नहीं है. जब मेरा उपनयन संस्कार हुआ था तो मेरे पिताजी ने जिन लोगों को बुलाया था वो करने के लिए, वो दे वर पीपल हु आर इन देयर ओन लाइव्स followed a certain rigor and had internalized those things, and they were doing that process, and it was very elaborate, and people in Nagpur got not irritated exactly, but they said कि इतना लंबा ये सब क्या हो रहा है, कर क्या रहे हो आप लोग, क्योंकि वो सोशल हो गया है वो सब कुछ. तो ठीक है उसकी, क्योंकि उसका कोई सैंक्शन तो रहा नहीं है. अभी मैंने देखा कि जो लोग ये सब कराएंगे, those who will preside over the rituals, so to speak, they are very cut to cut है वो, बिल्कुल मतलब ऐसे होगा फिर ऐसे होगा, और उसमें कुछ it is devoid of any content,
मीनिंग नहीं है,
कुछ नहीं.
मीनिंग नहीं रहा.
So that is
So recitation done without understanding meaning
but yeah,
is actually becomes repulsive. इसीलिए लोगों को बुरा लगता है. So I mean I remember many senior teachers also telling me, especially the younger ones, not senior but younger ones, क्या ये recitation शुरू होता रहता है. और विदेशी तो बिल्कुल
right,
लाइक ही नहीं करते थे, क्योंकि उनकी आपको समझ नहीं आती.
right. बट वो क्रिस्प हो गए, सुबह वो राजस्थानी सी बोली में बोलते हैं.
हाँ, quite true.
हाँ,
Very good.
वो उन्होंने खुद लिखे हैं क्या?
राजस्थान वाले तो खुद
खुद
लिखे.
लिखे.
बीच में उन्होंने
वो
अपना वो बनाया हुआ ना,
हाँ,
कुछ अपना
कुछ अपना, कुछ अपना.
और जो चांट्स हैं, जैसे रदन सुत्ता है वो पूरा नहीं करते, वो थोड़ा सा एक्सट्रैक्ट करके बनाया हुआ है. बत्ता सुत्ता पूरा नहीं करते, जबकि जो माउंट ट्रेडिशन में है वो अपनी तरफ से कुछ नहीं बोलते हैं. They just recite the whole sutta, including ekam samhim bhagava. So they will say the whole thing. जैसे वो सेव नाचे बारह नाम वो वहां से शुरू नहीं करेंगे. They will speak the full sutta. जेतवन में थे और देवता आए, देवता ने ये कहा, then they will recite the whole thing. So the complete thing will be spoken. They won't add single line of their own. Nothing. So it has its own meaning, you know. उसमें कई जगह रिकॉर्डेड है. अभयगिरी मोनेस्ट्री का उनका रिकॉर्डिंग अवेलेबल है. वेरी गुड. बट एट सम प्लेसेस यू नो दे हैव फॉलो दैट ट्रेडिशन ऑफ रिसाइटिंग विदाउट पॉज.
अच्छा,
बोलते जाएंगे तो देन यू हैव टू अगेन गेट इनटू ट्रबल. पहले थोड़ा पॉज तो दे दो.
Actually, sir, एक दिक्कत ये है कि at the time of Buddha, Pali was the spoken language, and all those things were in Pali. So, but probably we can do the translation and do the recitation.
Yeah, they do it like that. अभयगिरी में जो है, they have a chanting I think in Pali and English both. Pali और English दोनों में है. तो even the असेव नाचे बाला नाम साथ साथ English translation करते, so that people understand. Even homage to the Buddha they will translate.
Yeah, I've listened to the.
Piso Bhagavad, that also they will translate in English, so that the people understand it. So that's a very good thing, I think. Because if you understand, then you begin to see, then you can appreciate the Pali also. आपको समझ में आ रहा है, तो फिर वो अच्छा लगता है.
That time, only I thought you only doing this Pali.
नहीं, वो दोनों ही करते हैं. और एक टाइम पे सिर्फ पाली करते हैं, एक टाइम पे हिंदी इंग्लिश और पाली करते हैं, so that people can relate to it, and then by remembering they then begin to learn. इस तरह से वो लैंग्वेज भी सीख जाते हैं. Just by repetition you learn the language.
Swaka mentioned the comments that I had a different experience. The one thing that attached me to the Goenkaji tradition was Hindi dohas. They were beautiful formulas of wisdom.
Yes, certainly. दोहा भी बहुत अच्छा लगता
है.
जहाँ तक मुझे समझ में आता है वो मैं मतलब पास ले जाना गुरु के, नजदीक जाना. जो उपनयन से ही वो शुरू होता था ना एजुकेशन.
उपनिषद का मतलब ही होगा ना
पास जाके बैठना.
तो सीखने. मैं रिमेम्बर है ना, जब वो पहली बार मैं जाकर गया था, मेरा काफी सालों तक, तो जो 5th डे का चैंटिंग है ना, वो हेतु बच्चे वो आरम्भन बच्चे, कुछ समझ नहीं आता. मैं सोचता था कुछ बीच में समझ आता था कि कुछ गहरी बात कही जा रही है, पता नहीं चलता था. बट देन आई वुड सिट एंड मेडिटेट एंड इट हैव सच अ प्रोफाउंड इफेक्ट ऑन द बॉडी, यू नो, जस्ट टू सी कि क्या है. when they will decide the full thing, you know, बीच में समझ आता था कि अकुशलो धम्मो कुशलस्य धम्म से हेतु पक्षे न पक्षे, अकुशलो धम्म हेतु हो गया, कुछ गड़बड़ हो रही है. So it creates such a feeling that something is being said profound, but you don't understand, and I must read and find it out. ये है क्या? So that became actually the starting point for my studying Abhidhamma. ये है क्या? क्या कह रहे हैं? अकुशल धम्मा है, उससे ये होता है, इससे ये. इतना समझ में आ रहा था कि कुछ कह रहे हैं, ऐसा करने से ऐसा होता है, लेकिन ये पल्ले नहीं पड़ रहा क्या है. कुछ चीजें समझ आ जाती है ना, हेतु बच्चे हो, अच्छा हेतु इज डिपेंडेंट है, कुछ वो है, बट ये है क्या है? बोले जा रहे हैं ऐसी। जस्ट दैट क्यूरियोसिटी टू अंडरस्टैंड कि कोई मतलब ध्यान करते हुए लगता था कुछ गहरी बात कही जा रही है, कुछ समझ नहीं आ रहा क्या कह रहे हैं। बाकी चीजें तो फिर भी थोड़ी बहुत समझ में आया थी ना, सेवनाचे बाला नाम तो कुछ समझ में आता है, संस्कृत में पढ़ी हुई थी तो समझ में आया था, ये तो बिल्कुल ही समझ नहीं आता था क्योंकि इसमें कोई वही नहीं है, सेंटेंस ही नहीं है, जस्ट ए प्रिस्क्रिप्शन, नो फॉर्मल सेंटेंस है, so it is not addressed to somebody, but just because of that it used to seem कि इसमें कुछ है तो सही, so पढ़ना चाहिए, but पहली बार पढ़ा तो कुछ नहीं समझा, छोड़ दिया। फिर दूसरी बार फिर I don't know how many years I must have taken to put the courage to go through that book कि ये क्या कह रहे हैं, because initially थोड़ा अजीब सा लगता है ना, so many mind states, so many mental things, ये क्या है, what is it? But it takes time. If you are persistent, then you realize the great significance of it. And now I realize कि इससे ही साधना ठीक से समझ में आती, नहीं तो समझ ही नहीं आएगा। डिपेंडेंट ओरिजिनेशन आपको अगर अभिधर्मा की अंडरस्टैंडिंग कुछ भी नहीं है तो वो समझ ही नहीं आएगा। You will interpret in a totally different manner. So if you try to really use that, that recitation proved to be so useful for me, which was I was not understanding actually.
But sir, I think most of the students who go, they don't have background in Sanskrit also.
Sanskrit में भी नहीं, आजकल तो वो भी नहीं है.
Then
it's not even more difficult.
Then actually most of the people sit blank.
Yeah. तो इसलिए वो ट्रांसलेशन करना मैंने सजेस्ट किया था आपके लिए.
Right. अगर वो उस समय actually I also used to struggle कि कुछ तो समझ में आए, but सर वो एक तो समझ में नहीं आता है, तो
और फिर वो ओपननेस नहीं है ना कि भाई इसको should do some things which to make it palatable. That would make it very very powerful actually. अगर उनका मीनिंग साथ साथ होगा जाए,
अर्ली मॉर्निंग में अगर आप बैठे हो,
नहीं आप उतना ही करिए, आप सिर्फ वही बोलिए सेवना से बाला नाम पंडितान से सेवना, उसका ट्रांसलेशन कर दीजिए, दूसरा बोल दीजिए, to have such a profound impact, because people will know this is basic teaching of what it's profound, finally basically for lay persons how I should live in the daily life. So when you listen to it from coming from Buddha, then it has a different flavor in itself.
तो मॉर्निंग का टाइम भी काफी क्वाइट सा होता है,
उस समय it impinges on the mind very strongly. So if the other things are suitably it is comprehended, put together, it will have a great effect, very very great effect. Pratana Sutta है, Attanatiya Sutta है. Some of them of course are basically protective verses, but even then it's all right. If they are protective verses, we should know they are protective verses. And we should know that Buddha did not despise this. Why should we try to keep in a rap that we don't do such things? There is. Attanatiya Sutta is a protective verse. It seeks for protection actually, that there are evil forces which should protect this Sangha and so that they can meditate together. So we should see that is so. Why not? तो कई बार वो ऐसा लगता है ना, if you read Ratan Sutta and if you don't have enough devotion, then you may find it क्या है, तो वही बात होगी, भगवान बुद्ध गए वहाँ पे, तो अगर फिर read the whole, then there is a वैशाली गए, वहाँ drought था, he went and he recited this and then there was rain. Now you may take it in a very negative manner. So probably because of that some of these suttas are not being translated directly for the newcomers.
Actually
नए लोगों को थोड़ा
टीचिंग को थोड़ा वो सेकुलर रखने के लिए भी आएगा, तो जो नया नया कोई जाता है वो कहता है कि देखो डायरेक्ट रेफरेंस आ रहा है, कुछ आ रहा है,
maybe I don't know.
Modernity to compliance was really फेस्टिवल में कैसे होगा?
No, but I had suggested that we should have a separate module for old students.
Yeah, right. I think वहाँ इसका
We
संबंध
should have a separate module for old students so that the 10-day course is for new people. For old people that we have another course. उसमें थोड़े से ओल्ड हो जो एक दो मतलब ऐसा करके 400 कोर्स तक तो ये है या 5 कोर्स तक ये है, 5 कोर्स के बाद तो आप कुछ और करें और वहां पे रेसिटेशन डिफरेंट है विद मीनिंग वो ताकि लोग समझ सकें ठीक से बिकॉज कोई दोबारा क्यों आएगा 4 कोर्स करने के बाद भी क्यों आएगा उसका इंटरेस्ट है तभी आएगा जब इंटरेस्ट है तो देन थोड़ा बहुत डिवोशन को ही होगा then he would understand the meanings and then he would not mind being told कि भाई ये it is meant for this purpose, it is meant for that purpose.
अभी कुछ ऐसा मॉडिफिकेशन टू द कोर्स की संभावना है क्या वहाँ पर? नहीं,
अब तो बिल्कुल नहीं. Actually, I think the dot has been written जो गोयनका जी कहके गए हैं.
मैंने जो सजेशन दिए थे that became a cause for me to resign from there. They said कि ये कैसे कहते हैं सजेशन कैसे देते हैं so that is impossible.
जी सर वो फेसबुक पे भी अगर सर कुछ अगर ऐसे समझाने की कोशिश करो तो वो यहीं पे आके बात अड़क जाती है कि you can't add anything to the teachers.
Okay, you don't have to get into all that. Be happy.
तो मैं बताना चाहता था कि मेरी टीम में एक दो लोग हैं जिन्होंने वो बुद्ध वाला सीरियल देखा एंड इवन दो वो जैसे आप कहते हैं कि इट्स नॉट कम्प्लीटली करेक्ट बट जो द पार्ट वेयर सिद्धार्थ लीव्स होम एंड ऑल उसके बाद वो लोगों को बहुत पसंद आया उनको बिकॉज उनको कुछ भी नहीं पता
Yeah, naturally.
उस तरह से एंड देयर आर पीपल हु आर वाचिंग इट अगेन नाउ सो देयर इज सम इम्पैक्ट not related to this situation at all. बिल्कुल normal. So I haven't seen it yet, but I have heard.
Certainly it has been made well, and those who don't know,
Yeah, उनके लिए
for them it's okay.
So there was comment from Sudhakar, Goenka ji does translate his work in either 3-day course or long course. I don't know. He didn't do that into 10-day course.
There's nowhere it is translated and recited.
Actually sir सारी जो
जैसे मॉर्निंग चैंटिंग होती है उसी सब जगह उसी फॉर्म में in 10-day course in Satipatthana there is Satipatthana as a recitation. In the long courses there are other chantings done also. In addition to these 10 days there are other chantings because लंबा टाइम है उसमें दूसरी चैंटिंग भी है दूसरे सुत्ता भी हैं तो the Dhammacakka Pavattan Sutta is recited and other suttas are recited but nowhere
no side by side translation.
nowhere side by side translation. The book is now available, translation book is available, so people have to read the book and then they can understand.
Okay. Okay, so we were on chapter 7. So I thought since only a few slides were left, I thought we can do some recap of what all we studied. And I found one good PDF on the net which just summarizes all the chapters, bulleted wise. So I just picked few lines from each chapter. And the first chapter was flowering of human consciousness, and as the author mentions, flowers were most likely the first thing humans valued that was not linked to their survival. Flowers have produced inspiration to countless artists, poets and mystics, and also he mentioned that flowers are a bridge between the world of physical form and the formless. Flowers are the enlightenment of the plants, and a good way of saying. And then he also mentions that Buddha, Jesus, and all the other persons who came were the flowers of human consciousness. And then he actually builds on this chapter, saying that a widespread flowering of human awakening can
needed
is needed
for the new earth to emerge.
for New Earth to
That is
emerge.
the main theme of his book.
Yes. At the heart of the new consciousness lies the transcendence of thought, the newfound ability of rising above thought, of realizing a dimension within yourself that is infinitely vaster than thought. You then no longer drive your identity, your sense of who you are, from the incessant stream of thinking that is the old consciousness you take to be yourself. Okay. A new heaven is the emergence of the transformed state of human consciousness, and a new earth is its reflection in the physical realm. And the second chapter is the ego, the current state of humanity. And the author says that the greatest miracle is the experience of your essential self as prior to any words, thoughts, or mental labels and images. The quicker you are in attaching verbal or mental labels to things, people, or situations, the more shallow and lifeless your reality becomes, and the more deadened you become to reality. The miracle of life continuously unfolds within and all around you. Then he mentions in the ego, so he tries to give for the ego, the first phrase he uses is that who we are, sufferers, a monstrous act of reductionism, and our infinite depth becomes confused with I, me, and mine. When we do this association with I, me, and mine. And then he mentions in ego is that the word identification is derived from the Latin idiom meaning same and facere, which means to make. So when we identify with something, we make it is the same and lose ourselves through our identification with the world around us, and which is ego. We use the things around us and our accomplishment as identity enhancers, seeking out the unique or novel. Also, he says ego satisfaction is short-lived, so we keep looking for more and more ways to enhance it. And the third chapter is the core of the ego. He says the core of the ego is the repetitive and persistent thoughts, emotions, reactive patterns that you identify with most strongly. Living in an ego state means we are constantly fault finding and complaining about others. Complaining is one of the ego's favorite strategies for strengthening itself. This includes applying negative mental labels or name calling of others. Resentment is the emotion that goes with complaining. Resentment means to feel bitter, indignant, aggrieved, or offended. Anger, complaining, hurt, resentment are the other examples he gives for the ego. And the fourth chapter is for the role playing. It says that ego thrives on getting attention from others, from collecting psychic energy. The ego wants to be noticed and acknowledged. The pain body gathers pain and renews itself through experiencing more pain. This ultimately results in children and adults constantly acting out victim's role in all the relationships. The victim role then becomes their story, which they endlessly repeat to others and continue to act as a way to feel the pain body and their identity. When we fall in love, we become addicted to the image we have created over another person, and when they no longer match that image we have created, we say that we have fallen out of love with them.
फॉलिंग क्यों कहती है? मुझे सेट राइट ना
When we get lost in role playing, we lose our ability to form authentic relationships. And the fifth chapter is the pain body. The pain body. The pain body is an addiction to unhappiness. Our body cannot differentiate between an actual situation and a thought. Thus, our body reacts to our every thought as if it were a reality.
This is a very crucial thing which we forget. जो शेर आया है उसमें भी इतनी दिक्कत होती है, सोचने में हो जाएगी, क्या नहीं
ऐसे पैटर्न भी चलता रहता है.
जिनको कोई मेडिटेशन का बैकग्राउंड नहीं है और ये सब बातें नहीं पता है, नहीं की है, या पता हो के भी सब पता ही नहीं, उस सिचुएशन में इस प्रॉब्लम का कोई टेम्पररी ही सही आंसर है क्या? जहाँ पर आप पास्ट को रिलिव करते हैं, जहाँ आप इस तरह की अनप्लेजेंट कुछ चीज़ हुई है या फियरफुल चीज़, जो भी नेगेटिव इमोशन को आप रीप्ले कर करके उससे अपने प्रेजेंट को भी नुकसान पहुंचाते रहते हैं. ऐसे मैं जानता हूँ जो सब करते हैं, पर आई नो बट उसमें एक्यूटनेस में फ़र्क या इंटेंसिटी में फ़र्क होता है. तो अगर कोई बहुत ज़्यादा है, ऐसा कोई करता है कि जैसे अगर किसी ने हर्ट किया आपको 50 साल पहले, 30 साल पहले, आप उतना ही हर्ट फिर हो रहा है, इसका कोई सो कॉल्ड प्रैक्टिकल
मतलब जो people who believe in cognitive training, they think कि भाई उनको समझा दो,
नहीं उससे कुछ नहीं.
बट उसके जैसे भी जो हमारे थेरेपी वाले हैं ना, उसमें कॉग्निटिव थेरेपी बहुत चली कई सालों तक, भाई उनको समझ नहीं है, उनको समझा दो, तो कुछ लोगों को समझ आ जाती है लेकिन मेजॉरिटी को नहीं आती. और फिर वो एक और प्रॉब्लम हो जाती है कि भाई मुझे समझ आ रही है, मुझे सोचना नहीं चाहिए और फिर मैं सोचे जा रहा हूँ. So then even Western psychologists now realize, okay, we should not have pure cognitive therapy, we should have mindfulness based cognitive therapy. So the new, and that is now recognized to be the most efficient way, internationally recognized by the psychologists, efficient way of preventing recurrence of depression. Even thoroughly accepted. MBCT program is a thoroughly, fully accepted program worldwide as a very efficient method for treating recurrent depression. तो बहुत डिप्रेशन है तो दवाई दोगे उसको, ठीक हो गया, तो अगर वो कुछ नहीं करेगा तो फिर हो जाएगा उसको. Within a year, almost 90% will have again an episode. So they said, if you give them this training, then the frequency of recurrence is substantially reduced. So they, even the hardcore psychologists have recognized कि इससे बगैर काम बनेगा नहीं, कितनी भी cognitive training कर लो. There is no other way. Or otherwise you keep yourself busy in some other activity.
वो तो लोग करते हैं, but for somebody who is not young, who is older, how do you start? You can't start. You can't get anybody else to start.
नहीं, वो तो यही है ना कि people find escape routes.
Right. That is
भाई पूजा पाठ में लगे रहो, मन लगा लो, कुछ भी कर लो,
इस तरह
राम
राम
कर लो, कुछ कुछ करते
Social
रहो,
work करते
सोशल वर्क
कुछ
कर
करते
लो, बट दैट हर्ट रिमेन्स, हर्ट जाएगी नहीं unless we become cognizant of the hurt and let its energy dissipate.
Right.
वो अराइज हो, आप उसको देखें और चली जाए, अराइज हो और कोई तरीका नहीं है. Any effort would cause suppression. Any escape would cause suppression. कि वो राइज होगी और आपको भाग्य फिर डर लग
पीछे पड़ेगी,
फिर वो फिर उसकी इंटेंसिटी थोड़ी बढ़ी जाएगी, घटेगी. There's no way there. That is the great insight of the Buddha. See through it. Face the roots. No other way.
तो वो सब तो बताइए, एस्केप.
Everybody finds his own escape to excessive getting busy in work. भूल ही जाओ कुछ रहेगा. इतने बिजी हो गए, फुर्सत ही नहीं है.
Some of the workaholics just because of this.
भाई वो घर पे नहीं जाना चाहता, घर पे परेशानी है ना, तो वो विल क्रिएट अ सिचुएशन कि वो इतना बिजी हो जाएगी, मैं क्या करूँ, मैं
थ्रेड खोजने के लोग, ताकि वो थ्रेड जब वापस आएंगे तो आपको बिजी कैसे करेंगे.
I could see it happening with me at the initial phases of our life. वो एक टेंडेंसी हो रही है. At that time you were not cognizant of it. So you justify नहीं, मैं तो इतना बिजी हूँ भाई. You tend to take yourself more busy, take extra work, but eventually you don't have time. You have done the justification. You time ही नहीं होता. You're not ready to accept किया ना, जाना नहीं चाहता, unpleasantness. So that's possible only when you sit quietly and allow your mind to show you your true face. इतनी हिम्मत हो कि आदमी अपने आप को देख सके, तब पता चलता है ये होता है. और सब करके देख लिए तरीके.
So this is a question from Arpan. Can Darsha repeat this depression bit? I missed it.
ABCT.
Has it been a method of treating depression?
Yeah. There is a, there used to be various behavioral therapies which are done, psychotherapy and other behavioral therapies done to treat people with depression. Mild treatment हो जाती है by these therapies. If it is acute depression, they are first given pharmacological treatment, the medicines दी जाती है, so as to calm down the mind. But then how long will a person take medicine? So once it calms down, then you said, okay, taper it down, because the medicines have very strong side effects. So when you taper it down, then the person goes to the world again.
Real situation.
Then he is again faced with that same situation, and depression has a tendency to arise because things have been suppressed. Now if he is given that training of mindfulness, now he is told, okay, because the medicines have suppressed it to such an extent that it will not arise as like a bomb. It will arise gradually. That is the only good point of these medicines. They are kind of dull your mind so much that strong emotion cannot arise.
The best thing they can do is that they can dull your mind.
So they don't arise. But as they begin to arise, if you see them, then their energy starts to fall down gradually. And then with the combination of medicine and this, you come out of it. So there is a MBCT program. If you see in that, you will get a lot of information on mindfulness-based cognitive therapies. Now,
but drugs are essential part of this.
it depends on how extent of it. If the depression is very acute, then they advise कि drugs ले लो. अगर mild है, तो इसी से काम करना है.
Otherwise, if you dull the mind, you are actually reducing the chances of you ever understanding it. Because you need an active mind to. Yeah.
But actually, when the mind is so deeply perturbed, करे क्या? उसको अगर आप deeply perturbed को साधना कर ही नहीं पाएंगे. Impossible. We in fact don't advise him to go there. Right. I always advise a person पहले थोड़ा मन को शांत कर लो, दवाई खा लो, कुछ शांत हो जाए, फिर जाओ, और फिर भी जाओ तो बड़ी सोच समझ के जाओ, नहीं तो मुसीबत आ जाएगी. वहाँ उठ जाएगा और तुम देख नहीं पाओगे ठीक से, तो फिर you get into severe problem. I've known of people who are under medication, treatment. In fact, one of my colleagues, and I regretted it so much, उसको मैंने कहा ये स्पिरिचुअल इंक्लिनेशन की कोर्स पे चले जाओ, एंड ही वेंट, एंड देयर ही उसकी दवाई खत्म हो गई, उसने दवाई खानी चाहिए।
ये एक चीज और मैंने भी देखी है, बिकॉज टेंडेंसी
उसकी दवाई खानी छोड़ दी, उसने कहा मैं तो बिल्कुल ठीक हूँ, फाइन, एवरीथिंग इज फाइन, एंजॉयिंग, क्या जरूरत है मुझे दवाई खाने की, जबकि मैंने उससे खास तौर पर कहा दवाई नहीं छोड़नी। When he started, he felt very good about meditation. He got into his hyperactivity mode, and great devotion, feelings. टीचर के पास जाके excessive, showing excessive devotion, सुबह जाके उनको पाँव पड़ेंगे, रोज जाके करेंगे, and teacher didn't recognize that it was there. His mind was getting perturbed. He couldn't recognize that it was a disturbance which was happening in his mind. तो उसमें शायद लिखा भी नहीं कर पाऊँ, तो वो धीरे 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 ब्रेक डाउन हो गया, तो बिकम टोटली आउट ऑफ कंट्रोल। वापस जाना पड़ा, then he had to be given sedation, acute sedation for 1 week or something. Then only he recovered. Because he had a very big, long history of depression and mood fluctuations. तो दवाई नहीं छोड़ दी उसको, I felt so bad. उसके पेरेंट्स थे, वो कहने लगे तुम्हारे कारण नहीं हुआ। So one has to be very careful. जैसे बाइपोलर डिसऑर्डर वालों को तो मैं कहता हूँ, ये पहले तो अपने किसी रिश्तेदार को ध्यान कराओ, फिर तुम जाओ, दवाई खा रहे हो, ठीक हो इस समय, लेकिन फिर भी पहले रिश्तेदार को ध्यान कराओ, उसको अपने साथ लेके जाओ, अगर कोई दिक्कत हो तो वो रिकॉग्नाइज कर लेगा। टीचर may or may not be able to recognize. 100 people sitting in front can't give attention in such a large number to one individual, and he may not have that ability to recognize whether he is behaving in a abnormal manner or not. तुम्हारा साथी जो रहता है वो तो पहचान जाएगा तुमको, and attend to it quickly, because उसमें तो डिले होती जाएगी तो बढ़ता ही जाएगा। Very very important.
कि साथ में भी सपोर्ट होगा।
हाँ, because otherwise out of excessive enthusiasm you advise चलो भाई ध्यान करो ठीक हो जाएगा। शुरू में जब मैं शिविर कराता था तो एक जगह है यहाँ राजस्थान बॉर्डर पे, गंगानगर, आप शायद मालूम होगा, राजस्थान पंजाब बॉर्डर, तो वहाँ मेडिटेटर थे जो साइकेट्रिस्ट, वो अपने हर पेशेंट को भेज देते थे। जयपुर में गया, वहाँ में कह दिया, हमेश को हर एक को भेज देता है, एंड देन ही डजंट सी कि whether he is in a fit to condition to do. तो कई लोग वहाँ जयपुर आए, 2-3 दिन भाग गए, he couldn't sustain it. Then he had to be told, भाई सोच समझ के भेजा करो, कि इतना ओवर एंथुसियाज्म कि तुम जाओ सब ठीक हो जाएगा, दवाई की जरूरत नहीं है, ऐसा तो ना होता है। So to assess it properly and not make a kind of blind devotion to the meditation कि सब कुछ हो जाएगा. Then some people got harmed in the process. So that's why trained people are, when you're treating mind and depression, so when the psychiatrist does it, he will do a perfect job. अगर साइकेट्रिस्ट है और मेडिटेटर है और इतना अच्छा मेडिटेटर है कि वो माइंडफुलनेस बेस्ड कॉग्निटिव थेरेपी प्रैक्टिस कर सकता है, दैट्स परफेक्ट, लेट मी अंडरस्टैंड।
इनफैक्ट कल मैं वो इसका रिकैप में पढ़ रहा था, इनफैक्ट एकार्ट टोले ने कहीं पे मेंशन करा हुआ है कि इन हिज इनिशियल टाइम ही यूज्ड टू लाइक हेल्प पीपल हु आर क्लोज टू देयर दैट हु आर हैविंग प्रॉब्लम्स, सो मोस्ट ऑफ टाइम आई जस्ट गो देयर and sit with them quietly, and we both will come in the present. So I think in those situations, those one-to-one relations are better. And the chapter 6 is the breaking free, and the beginning of freedom from the pain body first lies in the realization that you have a pain body. The energy that is trapped in the pain body through negative emotion needs to be transmuted into presence. We need to create some space around our unhappiness and make room for other feelings to come in. People with heavy and frequent active pain bodies often find themselves in conflict situations. The negativity that emanates in is negativity that emanates is enough to attract hostility and generate conflict. Being present to others often involves letting them experience their feelings but not interfering and not doing anything. Accepting means you allow yourself to feel whatever it is you're feeling at that moment. Through awareness, space is created and the pain body can be let go. And then we can continue with the slides of the current chapter.
सेवन चैप्टर का भी समरी बता दो पहले.
So, seventh chapter is finding who you truly are. So, the author says that the first and the most fundamental question of your life is, who am I? Unconscious people stuck in their egos can quickly tell you their name, occupation, personal history, state of their body and whatever else they identify with. But they may not have much of a sense of themselves beyond their physical and situational conditions. Knowing yourself is to be rooted in being instead of lost in your mind or your emotions. And the author also says that it is easy to see ourselves as spiritual beings when everything is going well in our lives. But when things are not going so well, it is amazing just how quickly we seem to get stuck in our unhappiness and apparent suffering that is our human existence. And then author actually talks about other things like whatever you think the world is withholding from you, you are withholding from the world, because deep down inside you think you have nothing to give. And then author talks about the abundance and not labeling the present moment as either good or bad. And the slide is the joy of being. People believe themselves to be dependent upon what happens for their happiness. That is to say, dependent on form. They don't realize that what happens is the most unstable thing in the universe. It changes constantly. They look upon the present moment either as a marred by something that has happened and shouldn't have happened, or is it deficient because of something does it not happen but should have. And so they miss the deeper perfection that is inherent in life itself, a perfection that is always there and that lies beyond what is happening or not happening, beyond form. Accept the present moment and find the true perfection that is deeper than any form and untouched by time. The title was Joy of Being. The next title is Allowing the Diminishment of the Ego. The ego is always on guard against any kind of perceived diminishment. Automatic ego repair mechanism comes into effect to restore the mental form of me. Shouting something back is an automatic and unconscious ego repair mechanism. Anger, physical violence, self-delusion in the form of grandiose fantasies. Allow the diminishment of the ego when it happens without attempting to restore it. Instead of immediately retaliating or defending yourself, do nothing and become alert to what that feels like deep inside you. You can step out of identification with form with mental self-image. If you are content with being nobody in particular, content not to stand out, you align yourself with the power of universe. What looks like weakness to the ego is in fact the true strength.
तुमने आर्टिकल पढ़ा था, no one special to me. यही सेंस है.
And the last slide is as without, so within. Do you become speechless when looking out into space on a clear night? And actually that is it struck me because गर्मियों की छुट्टियों में अगर आप बचपन में छत पे सो जाओ, so
If you go to a mountain and you just sit there, boom, क्या बोलेंगे?
and actually that's what happens.
That's why people feel happy about it.
तो यहाँ
Because the mind comes to still, ना?
हाँ तो माउंटेन में तो इतने
हम आश्रम जाते थे स्वामी जी की, मुझे याद है, मतलब at that time it was far away from the Lucknow city. Still it is, but अब तो शायद city वहाँ आ गया. तो ऊपर देखते नहीं सारा stars, इतने stars दिखते हैं, चक्कर क्या है? यहाँ देख रहे क्यों आ गए? It seemed as if वो सारे वहीं इकट्ठे हो गए. It's amazing, you know, to see the distance from Delhi to Lucknow cannot change your view of the sky. But so it seemed always.
So the author continues that relinquish for a moment your desire to explain or label and have and become aware not only of the object in the space but of the infinite depth of the space itself. The essence of space is nothingness. When you are aware of the space, you are not really aware of anything except awareness itself, the inner space of consciousness. Through you, the universe is becoming aware of itself. When the eye finds nothing to see, this nothingness is perceived as space. When the ear finds nothing to hear, this nothingness is perceived as stillness. When the senses, which are designed to perceive the form, meet an absence of form, the formless consciousness that lies behind perception and makes all perception, all experience possible, is no longer obscured by the form. You then sense the vast depth of space as your own depth, and you know that the precious stillness that has no form to be more deeply who you are than any of the things that make up the content of your life. And he says in the end that just as space enables all things to exist, and just without silence there can be no sound, you would not exist without the vital formless dimension that is the essence of who you are. We could say God if the word has not been misused. I prefer it calling it being.
Actually, I was reading the book, and when I heard these sentences, I was reminded of some Upanishadic line, and then I found that he exactly took that line from Upanishads, and it was a very beautiful line, which what cannot be seen with the eye, but that whereby the eye can see.
Very famous.
Yeah.
Which Rodney Smith also quotes.
What cannot be heard with the ear, but that whereby the ear can hear, and so on. Five
Know
senses
that to be
and
the Brahman.
know that to be the Brahman.
So Sudhakar, Arpan had a question that in your experience, is there anyone in India that does psychiatric with who is a meditator, psychiatric training, who is a psychiatrist with a
mindfulness.
meditation background or with meditation? And Sudhakar gave an example of Dr. Raman Khosla.
Yes. There's Raman Khosla in Pune. And he doesn't give medicine, but he does some kind of a counseling. Pune में है वो. और meditator and a psychiatrist is अभी वो ट्रेडिशन में टीचर है राजेंद्र चौखानी, मुंबई में है.
क्या नाम है सर?
Dr. Rajendra Chopani. He is a meditation teacher and also a psychiatrist.
मुंबई.
मैं जिनको जानता हूँ, there must be others also, but I don't know them well. इस तरह निम्हांस में भी कुछ लोग हैं, but I don't know their names. निम्हांस में क्योंकि उन्होंने काफी बड़ा प्रोजेक्ट किया था मेडिटेशन और साइकियाट्री. यूएसए में तो है ही काफी, बहुत है.
So Raman Khosla.
He was a meditation personality. He was the first to resign. 97.
So he was part of.
Yeah, he was a teacher.
He was a teacher.
He and myself became teachers together in 93. He was fully devoted. Spent 7 years in Mumbai.
Okay.
He was the first psychiatrist to join meditation.
So what does he now? He uses some of these.
He advises people about mindfulness. And I think he stopped giving medicines, but वो घर पे he gives appointments and people come and then talk. It's a kind of a psychotherapy.
Arpan says that is Paul Fleischman.
Yeah, वो तो अमेरिका में तो बहुत है. Paul Fleischman is one, he's a psychiatrist, and there are others, many others who do not belonging to our tradition, but who do this thing. There is a whole tradition of mindfulness-based cognitive therapy. You can just see in Google and you'll get the whole.
John Kabat-Zinn वगैरह भी है.
वो तो स्ट्रेस रिडक्शन वाला करते हैं, MBSR प्रोग्राम किया. बट कॉग्निटिव थेरेपी भी करने वाले भी हैं. अभी जब मैंने बुद्धिस्ट साइकोलॉजी पढ़ाई थी ना, तब मुझे ये सब ज्ञानकारी लेनी पड़ी. मालूम नहीं.
So Arpan is saying is MBSR and MBCT the same?
No. MBSR is only stress relaxation. MBCT is a formal training for therapy. MBSR is given as a stress reduction program for patients to recover, for all patients, for cancer patients, for other patients, pain patients, so that they can recover from their pain and come to terms with that pain. और कैंसर पेशेंट्स को शुरू किया गया था कि वो उनकी कैंसर की जो रिकवरी है, ये नहीं कि क्योर हो रहा है, कैंसर की जो कीमोथेरेपी से रिकवरी रेट है वो इम्प्रूव हो जाता है अगर वो स्ट्रेस उनके ना हो. स्ट्रेस होता है तो जो है रिकवरी रेट कम रहता है. दैट हैज बीन एस्टैब्लिश्ड अकॉर्डिंग टू मॉडर्न साइंटिफिक प्रिंसिपल्स, वेरी वेल एस्टैब्लिश्ड. सो देयरफॉर द पीपल इन वेरियस प्लेसेस इन अमेरिका, यूनिवर्सिटी, I mean, if you see the mindfulness, if you put a mindfulness into Google, you'll get 1,000, 10,000 entries of mindfulness. You put mindfulness in education, mindfulness in hospitals, you'll get so many links. All the major universities in US, UK, Europe, Australia have a mindfulness center. But in India, we can't have it. इंडिया में तो नहीं, हमारे यहाँ सेकुलरिज्म की बड़ी भारी डिजीज फैली हुई है ना.
तो यूएस को तो कॉपी करते हैं भाई.
हाँ, वो हो सकता है कि MIT का कोई प्रोफेसर आए यहाँ कहे कि हमारे यहाँ सेंटर फॉर माइंडफुलनेस, आपको पता क्या होता है, चलो मैं बताता हूँ.
या कोई इंडियन वहाँ जाके कुछ साल इस कोर्स का पार्ट हो इंडिया में आके किसी मॉडल पे
हार्वर्ड से आ सकते हैं, MIT में है, कैलटेक में है, Okay. कल मैंने वर्कशॉप कंडक्ट की थी यहाँ पे आईटी में ना माइंडफुलनेस की, सो दिस टाइम आई यूज दी वीडियोज ऑफ कैलटेक, मैंने कहा लोग शायद ज़्यादा एक्सेप्टेबल रहता है वो।
आई थिंक ये हमारा एक्सेप्शन है कि इंडिया के बाद जो भी होता है
सर डिकोलोनाइजेशन हुआ ना।
हाँ, हमारा मन अभी भी वही नहीं, वो सारे वर्ल्ड में अमेरिका की छाप पड़ी हुई है ना कि जो अमेरिका करता है वही हमें करना, तो मैं चलो उसी बहाने ले लो यार, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता हमें, हमें कोई जरूरत नहीं बताने की भगवान बुद्ध ने बताया था, चलो तुम समझ लो कि कैलटेक नहीं किया, करो तो सही।
वो मत पूछो कि एरो चलाने वाले की जाति क्या है।
हाँ,
बहुत ही अमेजिंग एग्जाम्पल है, एरो लगाए उसको निकालो।
shows the great insight of a person. The metaphors that Buddha has used, amazing metaphors and similes. There's a full book on similes of Buddha.
मैं किसके कौन लिखूं?
मैं देखता हूँ मेरे को पढ़ी है, आउट ऑफ वो है।
मुझे ये सिमिली में बहुत इंटरेस्ट रहता है।